Greetings, listeners. I am your host for the evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gear Studios production. You are about to listen to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast GM'd by Derek Snow. The previous report from our investigators. After receiving advice and help from a new mysterious friend, Mr. Black, the investigators continue their investigation by returning to where Althea was almost sacrificed, the Church of Contemplation.
As we start off this show, you all leave the diner and hop into your Packard Twin 6. I'm assuming, Althea, you're driving?
Always.
Who's shotgun?
Me. Literally who's shotgun.
As typical Agatha style, are you like hanging out the window, screaming at the top of your lungs, or Lee Enfield ready to shoot everything? Yeah. I'm a psychiatrist.
I'm embarrassed to be seen with you.
Yeah. And Amos and Marion are in the back seat. Now you've gotten a fair amount of information from Mr. Black, or tied together some information from last session. Where would you wonderful investigators like to go?
Are we going right to the chapel, or are we going...
It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I know.
It is just as good a time as... Well, it's better than any other time later than now.
Well, we have our weapons, so it's not like we have to go back and get them.
Yep.
So that's the one thing I haven't looked in my home for, is a whole armory of stuff.
Yeah, you haven't looked for an armory?
No.
It'll be interesting when you do.
Yeah.
Of course it will be.
Holy hand grenades
like,
all around.
Oh, look, here's my collection of cannons from the 1880s. She probably has her own metalsmith.
Why do you sound like that?
I don't know.
You were actually talking as if it was Althea saying something, but you're like, oh, I'm Althea in the future.
Like I was giving a tour of my home.
You wouldn't do that.
I would be far more comfortable
not.
if we avoided a fight at all possible.
Actually, I feel the same way, considering
we
what
did that
happened last time.
And Althea got knocked over the head and we had a fight.
Blackjack.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
I'm really glad I have my weapon. You have your camera with you?
Yeah, I do.
Excellent. All right.
We still haven't gone to my apartment to process these photos, by the way.
I think we've seen enough already.
It would be useful.
Well, I'll take some more photos of the chapel, and then we'll just process all the photos later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would be useful to re-examine them and refresh our memory of anything. See if we can piece things together. But for now, I think we definitely need more information about this chapel.
All right. On the way to the chapel.
Away to the chapel.
Away to the chapel.
Anything that you people would like to discuss with each other on the way there? Or... Because it's, like I described before, I try to keep it nice and simple, where everywhere is around 30 to 45 minutes away from everywhere else. Mm-hmm. Makes it nice and easy.
I would suggest that even though it's the middle of the day, we do not split up. However, outside of character, I feel like chances of that happening are really slim.
Well, hang on a sec. I completely agree, Althea.
What?
If we're not going to split up,
there was no
you should definitely
evidence.
Stick with the group.
There was no evidence that there was anyone on the property. However, I do think it's a good idea if we do not split up this time.
I'm glad you actually agree this time.
I do.
While you guys are talking, I'm going to double check over my weapon to make sure it's fine.
I'm sure your gun has been fine since the last time it scared the general populace.
Should probably leave it in the vehicle.
Oh no,
initially.
I'm definitely not.
That was the reason why the police were called to begin with. People don't generally wave weaponry around.
I'm sorry, but with the evidence of what has happened with, someone trying almost being sacrificed,
hold up. Where we're going, there is no residential area. It's in the middle of an abandoned park. The police weren't called there. They were called when she brought her gun out in a residential area, moving into the New England Center of Antiquities. Don't do that ever again.
Fine.
But bring your gun into the chapel.
Yes,
because
thank you.
There's going to be murderous
appreciate that. Yes.
hobos in
Maybe
there.
wait for one of us to just take a look around the street and make sure there isn't anyone who would be frightened.
Yeah. And then I kind of mouth, secretly whisper, we're like, bring it anyway.
Fantastic.
Okay. And after around 30 minutes.
Perfect.
31 and a half minutes.
Everywhere is 30 minutes.
It's around a 30-minute drive. Yeah. Fine, it'll take 4 days. I don't know what you want from me.
This traffic is terrible.
Oh, I didn't know this was a Starfinder.
Yeah. Oh. So you arrive. You can see the wall. It's sort of out on the outskirts of town, more like an old industrial park, warehousing and stuff around. It's separate, somewhat. It just seems to come out of nowhere as well. Like I said, you get this weird, like originally when you were trying to find the place, it was like you might have driven by it multiple times before and you never really noticed it. But now, once again, as you arrive, you're just like, oh yeah, it's here. Like you almost had forgotten exactly where it was. You knew where you were going, but, you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh.
You're right. This is much more of an abandoned area than I seem to have recalled.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does look like there's nobody on the street. I think we'll be all right.
Bring a gun.
Do we see the ravens on the top
So
of the...
you see the archway, sort of like the gate entranceway, and sort of maneuvering around on top of the stonework on the archway. There's around six ravens. 6 ravens, yeah. And they're just doing raven things, being awesome.
Doing raven things.
Never antagonize
As
the
you
ravens.
pull up.
Yeah,
Nobody's out of the vehicle yet. But they're just moving around,
Being ravens.
poking
I
at
get
each
out of
other.
the vehicle.
Poking at each other. One of them seems to have some kind of food in its mouth. Piece of bread or something, and they're all like,
Oh, fighting. each
raven
other.
noises.
Raven noises.
Yep.
Because that's how they sound. Once we stop, I'm going to get out of the car.
Okay, as soon as you get out of the Packard Twin 6, instead of calling it a car, I keep calling it by its actual name, which is strange. It's been mentioned. It's been strange. All the ravens sort of stop what they're doing and look over at you, Marion. And the one that had bread in its mouth, the bread just falls out of its beak. None of the rest of them go for it. They're all just still, just looking at you.
I'm going to get out of the car.
Did you piss off a raven one day?
And then they sort of focus on you as well, sort of like, you ever see those paintings or pictures that wherever you are in the room, the eyes
They
sort of
look like
follow
they're-
you?
yeah.
So for both of you, and Althea, I'm assuming as you get out, because something different's going to happen with Amos. So Althea, as you get out, it's sort of all three of you, as you move around a little bit, it all looks like all the ravens are watching you specifically when they're sort of not. But Amos.
Oh, no.
When Amos steps out of the vehicle, they all completely ignore Mary and Agatha and Althea. And they all sort of look at you. And they start, all of them sort of jump on the ground in front of the gate and they start to be hopping along the ground toward you. Not really making any noises, but they're sort of like all hopping on the ground toward you.
I reach for my camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I open it. I take a picture.
Yeah, so they all get around within a foot of Amos's feet, of your boots.
Uh-huh.
And they're just looking up at you. And you take out your camera and you take a picture. Flash? Yeah, they would all be. That
Yeah,
flash,
it would have flash.
So it flashes. They don't move. They don't flinch. They just keep sort of looking up at you. It's like they want something from you.
I'm going to sort of hesitantly kind of reach out and just touch one.
Mm-hmm. They let you.
Okay.
And you touch it. It feels oily. There's like an oily feel to it.
Never seen birds behave this way.
Any of y'all
Is
got
anyone-
bread on you?
Well, no. Do
Well, I'm
you?
glad I asked. No.
You see some bread over on the ground that fell out of one of the beaks over by the gateway.
Oh. I left the vial of black liquid at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hidden away in a drawer.
Yep.
What on earth would that be for?
Oh, I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, okay.
This is me thinking. just, yeah.
Were you going to try and feed it to a raven?
I was going to see if they looked at it. I got on my purse. What's on my purse? They want something from me?
It just seems that way. You're not really sure why.
I reach out to one of them.
Mm-hmm. And it cranes its head up toward your hand.
I pet it.
Mm-hmm. You see it like ruffle its feathers so it seems a little bit bigger. It's like just ruffles its feather up, spreads its wings a little bit. And then the other ravens all focus on that raven. And you get this feeling that raven feels. Not that it feels, but...
he's special.
He's special. So all the other ones leave, and this raven hops on your shoulder. And he's sort of just on your shoulder, and his wings are out and sort of ruffled.
Welcome to
raven noises.
Welcome to the weird pet family, man.
Yeah, okay, there's a difference here. Can you three all see this raven?
Yes.
I've wandered over toward the gate.
Yeah.
Significantly different, Althea.
Can I go touch the raven?
What?
Just because I'm fascinated as well.
You're going to go over to the raven on his
shoulder.
Yeah, you notice that as you reach out to the raven on his shoulder, it sort of backs away from your hand.
Oh, it doesn't like me. Okay.
And it sort of takes its wing and it sort of wraps it around Amos's head like it's steadying itself.
It's your buddy.
I don't even know what to say.
And it's sort of glaring at you, like, yeah.
I mean...
You also notice that the feathers and stuff on its head seem to be ruffled up vaguely in the shape of a crown.
Oh.
It's like the feathers are like, you ever see a raven and the feathers are all ruffled up on the head, but the middle is fine, but around the edge, it's all ruffled up.
Huh.
Raven noises.
I don't think he likes me that much.
No, he doesn't seem to like you, no.
I kind of, put my finger up to rub under his chin. It's okay. Well, it likes me fair enough, which, I'll take it. If he's going to sit on my shoulder and, not peck at my ear, I'm okay with it.
So you're okay that the creepy raven just kind of walked up to you and just decided to
Everything
be your
up
pet.
until now has been a little unsettling. The fact that he's now just chilling on my shoulder, I guess I should just be okay with it.
We'll just deal with one strange thing at a time.
Yeah, well, let's go and let's see what happens in the chapel.
Are you quite finished playing with birds?
As you're over to the gate.
Yeah. When the ravens flew away, did they fly toward the chapel? Or?
Yeah, well, you do notice that they did fly toward the chapel, but they all stopped because there's a graveyard in front. So basically, as you're looking into, there's a meandering path that leads up to the chapel, and it continues around the chapel. So of course, if you've explored before, you can get behind the chapel, but in front, there's a old style graveyard with the tombstones and stuff, some knocked over, but they all land on tombstones. And as you look, there looks to be like 20 or 25 ravens all just hanging around on tombstones. And they're not really looking at you. They're just sort of hanging out in the graveyard. It's a raven thing to do, I guess.
Are you going to keep that one?
As you look up at it, it looks down at you. I see, raven noises.
I don't see any reason for it to fuck off, as it were.
There's no need for that kind of language.
Well, I think I'll call him Regal. With his little crown on his head, I think it's kind of adorable. All right, let's go up to the chapel.
So at the moment, as you guys are sort of discussing it, this is over at the Carmarian. As you're looking inside, like I described, you see the meandering trail up to the chapel. Nothing really looks out of the ordinary, any more different than when you were here before. As you're looking inside, you get a slight feeling of vertigo. Just a slight that, like for a second, that dizziness.
Now, when you say inside, she's just inside the gate, right?
Well, she's looking through the gate.
Oh, I see.
I've moved kind of away from you guys toward the gate. I'm looking in at the graveyard and chapel.
Yeah, she's looking through like the archway into the area itself. You just feel a little bit of vertigo. You could probably chalk that up to you were just tranked.
Yeah.
So,
it's been a trying morning.
Yeah, it's been a trying morning.
Rough day.
Do we notice is that with her?
No, it's not like she just, you ever have that feeling when you just feel a little bit faint, but you're not like, you don't fall down or noticeably
or wobble or
wag.
All right, well, I'll start progressing up to where Marion's
we're
at.
not splitting up, so I think we're all going to probably forget.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, now there's 5 of us.
Okay.
And only 5 of us. He's imaginary anyway.
What are you talking about?
There's nothing. All right, let's go on.
Anyway, let's go and go in. It's not like we haven't been in this
Chapel,
the yard, churchyard
grounds,
before. Yeah.
Hold
I
it.
guess all 5 of us progress forward.
Yeah. We'll go forward toward the chapel.
Yeah. So you start walking in through the path.
Does it look any different than the other day?
No.
Okay.
It looks pretty much the same. A little bit overgrown. Doesn't look like it's been really tended, run down. As you all walk in, you all get sort of the feeling of something just feels a bit out of place. You had a weird feeling last time you were here too. Like a feeling of history. You know what I mean? If you ever go to places that have a lot of history with it, you get that feeling of, a nexus. Whatever way you want to put it. One thing I'm going to bring up, I need everyone to roll a spot hidden.
Oh, God.
Is my spot hidden there?
I'm going to start off with Althea.
Althea has a 73 out of 43, so she sees nothing.
Althea's just doing her best to stay with the group.
I have 50 out of 66.
So just a regular successful spot hidden. We go to Amos.
26 out of 44.
Okay, so a regular success. Spot hidden.
And 23 out of 36.
Okay, so
regular
3.
Success.
Yeah, so everyone except Althea, you're a little bit, just sort of focused on, God, I better not leave everyone right now. Oh, gonna go off on my own, fight my urges. Amos and Marion, you look over, you remember where there was a rose, a really beautiful rose there before. You notice that the rose is back.
Huh.
As you're looking over. But Agatha, when you look over, you don't see a rose because, of course, you plucked it. But it looks like the vegetation around it is black and dying by around a couple of feet, and it looks like there's tendrils spreading out from the black dead ground, and it seems to be spreading out. You don't slowly, you don't see it moving, but you can see just over time.
It's grown out.
It's grown.
That way.
Do you notice anything particular about this road?
It's beautiful.
Okay.
It's a wonderful, unique. You've never seen a rose of its like.
Well, that's lovely. Oh, look over there.
Yeah,
It's
but
just a spot
everything
of
else...
beauty in this rather dismal field.
You think that's beautiful?
Althea, as this is pointed out, you also notice it.
Well, yeah.
The rose.
Yeah, it's like a singular bright red puffy rose in the middle of a bunch of dead stuff. I mean, how the hell can a rose that lovely be in the middle of a bunch of dead stuff? Is someone
I'm no
tending
gardener,
Do they
but-
see the
No,
dead
there's
stuff?
no dead stuff for you guys.
I only see the dead
You see
stuff.
a perfect.
No, I mean the rest of it looks untended, right?
Looks
Yeah, it
so I
looks
guess
untended.
So I guess not gross, but it's
Yeah.
there's one lovely flower. Is it able
Yeah.
to do that without being tended
Well,
to?
as far as I know, of course. You see, in many places throughout the city, there's spots of color, there's wildflowers, there's roses or other tended bushes that have been left to grow wild.
Are you guys making fun of me or something?
From a
making
scientific
fun
point
of
of
you.
view,
If I was gonna make fun
roses
of you,
usually
you would
grow
know.
in multiples, even if they are located. This is one singular rose. It's quite odd.
I'm no horticulturist, but
Yeah, the hell with it. I'm
seems
gonna take a
all that
picture of
odd
it.
to me, just beautiful.
Yeah, stay here for a quick second. I'm just gonna take a picture of it and see what happens. Head on over. And,
Yeah, so he's
What are you talking about, Agatha?
It's
just lovely rose.
It's not very pretty. This area is just not very pretty at all.
I suppose it's a tad overgrown. Well, Amos is taking the pictures.
So you're walking over to take a picture?
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's
So you
maybe
walk
wait
over.
for him.
You hear
he
it-
seems pretty set on us not leaving him alone.
So as you get within, I would say 5 feet of the rose, you hear like a buzzing. Not similar to this situation
Okay.
with Swill's
I
gullet
was
and
just
stuff
gonna
like
ask.
that, but just this. You ever yawn,
Yeah.
and then right after the yawn, you get that slight little buzz. That zzz, you know what I mean? And it just goes away, but you sort
A
of,
soft ringing.
but it's melodic, and you can just hear that, just standing there, and it's nice, it's calming. All is good in the world.
Look over to Regal the Raven. Is he reacting in any way?
He seems to be hunched back a little bit and is glaring at the rose with disgust.
Oh.
Raven noises.
Well, I will snap a photo of the rose,
Sure. You take a picture, yeah.
and then I will. I'll walk away.
Yeah. Sure.
Don't really think anything. I can't tell that it's coming from any particular area.
No. As you walk away, the melodic sort of chiming sort of goes away.
Okay, that's a little odd.
Yeah, it is a little bit strange, but you've experienced a lot of little strange things.
Anyone else got like a ringing in the back of their head?
Did you get hit in the head earlier?
You're
That sometimes
really
can cause
sassy
that.
today. What's up with this?
Keep an eye on you for signs of concussion.
That is a symptom.
Same.
I'm worried about you.
That's a
You
symptom?
hearing of getting hit in the head. Is hearing a ringing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, it's just getting shot with a tranquilizer, but fair enough.
That's part of the reason. I myself have been feeling a little woozy since then.
I'm going to go back a little bit just for a second as you went over to the rose. Actually, while you're there, why not roll a natural world check? Because,
okay.
It's probably a low percentage, but got to make use of some of these other skills.
72 out of 10.
Yeah, okay, no, I just figured I'd throw it out there because it would be relevant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Trying to make use of some other skills here, people.
Yeah.
Not everything is, straightforward.
Everybody wants a rose. There's a lovely rose over there.
No. Just
Want me to get
leave
your
it
rose? I
alone.
can get your rose if you like.
No, please
Can I
don't.
share? Okay.
Raven noises.
I pet Regal.
Amos goes over and takes a picture of said perfect rose. And then he walks back to the group with Regal on his shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Agatha, you do feel... As he's walking back, you just get this feeling that all is not right in the world. The world is a dark place. Just that feeling of depression is the wrong word. I'm not sure.
Unease?
Unease, yeah. You just feel uneasy here more than everyone else. You feel, you're not sure why, but you do feel more uneasy. And also, this feeling feels really familiar. And you can't really place why. Yeah. Okay. And then you're just all standing down the path from the
Start
chapel.
walking toward the chapel.
Start heading toward the chapel. As you were here before, you did realize that there was on the side of the chapel, face away from you, was the entrance into sort of the basement of the chapel itself, where Althea was taken last time. Now, did you want to just enter the chapel or go check that side area first?
I wouldn't mind going where we know. Pulls out my pistol.
Yeah, I'll follow you, actually. I'll follow suit.
Well,
we know that's the last place the book was that we saw.
might as well start there.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So as you...
Althea also has her handgun with her. She pulls it out of the bag that's carrying the yellow book. And unfortunately, her skill with isn't very good because she normally doesn't have to use them. But she does have it.
Yeah.
Just a quick question. There were windows in the chapel?
Yes, a lot of stained glass windows and stuff like that. And you couldn't really see into them.
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah. So just a moment. I'm going to go right up close to the window and see if I can peer in and see maybe even just shadows.
Sure, fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to take care of two things at once. So, Althea, as you reach into your bag for your handgun, you touch the book.
Okay.
And then you're just like, oh, wrong object. And grab your handgun. And that's when you realize it's the first time you've touched the book and haven't felt anything. A need to read it. A need to cast people, to write a play. It's the first time that it's just been like, oh, it was like touching any book, not like the ultimate supreme book that it is.
Well, it's still a supreme book, but I mean...
You just don't...
sometimes other things are just more important. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That doesn't mean I'm going to leave it in the car.
There's nothing more important than that book.
Still not going to leave it in the car.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, God.
I just mean that
I still took it with me.
there's not that obsession. There's been
Right.
like your character's been obsessive about it. Marion, as you go up, right up to the church itself, and you can sort of, because as a stained glass are usually a bit higher than regular height.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know-
assuming that I'm like
Yeah.
on my tiptoes, kind of just looking at the
Yeah.
very bottom. Hopefully, there's usually in multicolored stained glass, there's like a lighter color,
Yeah.
so you can see through a bit better than the like a yellow or something.
Roll me a luck
looking
roll.
for
Just roll me a luck roll.
To not get shot in the face.
exactly 50 out of 50.
Oh,
Wow,
There you
holy
go.
shite.
So it's meant to be. As you do find a little bit of a lighter area that's not covered in dust or boarded up from the inside or anything, and you're looking inside, and it looks like an atypical chapel with it's still hard. You can't really scan around the room as much as
No.
get that view.
I'm more just looking to see if there's movement or shadows that look like people, like just to get a sense of, is there anyone inside?
Okay. So to you, it looks like very typical for churches and chapels and this sort of day. No, not this day and age, but
Yeah.
in recent memory is you can sort of look back and you can see the main double doors, like shaped like an archway, that crescent. That opens up and it looks like there's maybe a little foyer, and then it opens up and there's an aisle that goes up and there's pews on either side, like lines of pews with a main aisle up the center. You can see like a step and there's like an altar, not really an altar, like a podium, where somebody would stand to deliver a rousing speech, some oration about, something. It looks like a very typical church. You don't see anything really occult-ish here.
I'm assuming I can't make out any of the iconography. I'm assuming I can't make out any of the iconography.
It looks very typically Christian.
Okay.
Behind the altar there is a crucifix.
Yeah.
With Jesus.
That's more than I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah, there is actually
To be able to
really
see.
a Christian motif in here. Which is different from what you recall from the basement area. Yeah.
But I don't see any people.
No, you don't. Also, sort of behind that altar that's a little bit higher, there's like pews in the back for like a choir.
Right.
And then you can see doors to either side. Like a door on the right and a door on the left.
Yeah.
Right? And you can tell just from the look of it that the door on the left looks like it would lead to the base of the tower spire. The belfry.
Yeah.
I go back to the group. It
Yep.
looks empty. We should be, as far as I know, we should be all right.
All right.
So we're going through the
Check out the
basement
cellar
first,
door.
though, or the cellar first, right? Yeah. Okay.
Also, as you're walking by in front, of course, you do notice on the door itself, on the outside, the entranceway into the chapel, there's a symbol like 3 triangles surrounding an eye.
That's still there?
Yeah. But as you notice, it looks like the paint is running, as if it's just newly put there.
Did it look like that when we were there last?
No, I thought it was kind of dry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I took a picture of it last time.
I
Want to take a
didn't
picture of
see
it again?
anything.
Just to
Sure, why
compare?
not? All right, I took a new picture of
Sure.
the symbol, so I've got one from there and now.
Sure.
Since they're talking about it, I'm going to go up the steps toward the symbol and look more closely. And if it looks...
It's wet.
Okay.
Like recently applied, although... to know how recent, I would require a chemistry roll.
All right. I'm going to roll
Trying to
that.
make use of some of these other skills.
Yep.
Anyone can make it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Chemistry.
I will do that too.
If you don't,
Little.
if it's not on your sheet,
It's not on my sheet.
it would be 1%.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
chemistry's not one of the sciences I took,
92.
which is strange considering my lab. But I took biology and forensics and pharmacy instead.
I also failed that check.
Okay.
so-
Well, I mean,
I can always try. Who
Yeah, you
knows?
never
Maybe
know.
I'll get 1. I did not.
you have 40 times that number. Okay. And to be clear, yeah, no, that would be good enough. Yeah.
Well,
Chemistry
let's-
would do it.
Let's make our way to the side.
All right.
Okay, so you maneuver around the side of the chapel itself. You notice it's very quiet here. Regal is just on your shoulder. It's not really making any noise. It's just as you almost forget that it's there. It doesn't have any weight. It's not like it looks like a 15 to 20 pound bird. I mean, it's a
big
it's a
bird.
large
Big
That's
bird.
a turkey.
I mean, okay, so let's say 10 pounds, but ravens can be quite big.
That's 10 pounds. Looks like a Fort Mac turkey. That sounds all right.
Yeah.
Fort Mac raven. Our ravens here are huge.
Sorry.
Do not
You caught
antagonize
me.
the ravens.
They will kill you.
Fort Mac turkey.
Have you ever heard of ravens here called Fort Mac turkeys?
No.
Yeah, no,
That's
I have.
accurate.
So it's sort of on your shoulder, but it's not really doing anything out of the ordinary. Other than being on
Other
your
than
shoulder.
being here.
With a crown of feathers on its head.
I accept.
Oh, the iconography. The symbolism.
All right, so cellar door.
So yeah, you go on over to the cellar door.
Are you
It's
entering
closed.
Oh,
No symbol painted on this either.
No.
Is there a chain?
No, it looks
over
like it's been painted over recently. And it's just like painted brown. The wood from the cellar door looks like it's just painted brown recently.
Is that paint fresh as well?
Yeah. Seems fairly fresh, yeah. I will allow chemistry rolls once more if you would like.
Sure, why not? Nope.
what is that? It's 1%.
That's 1%.
1%.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I
Oh my
actually and I have
God.
33 in chemistry. So does that mean I get a check mark on
You
that?
get a
Success.
tick in chemistry.
Holy
Extreme
crap.
Yeah.
1%, Agatha, as you move up, and you're just more focused on your Lee Enfield, I'm going to shoot a sucker. I already got one of those cultists here last time.
Yes, I did.
Blood rage.
Rage against the machine.
Yeah.
I'm an alienist with a gun. A rifle, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. As you're looking at it, and then you remember from the door, and you're like, oh. And you get down and you just touch it, and it's not as wet as the one that was on the main door, and you're like, you smell it, smell the paint, and you're like, oh, yeah, this paint was applied around, I don't know, 3 hours and 27 minutes ago.
Really?
That's eerily specific.
Which
Yeah. You're like, you figure it's been within the last 3 to 5 hours. I mean, it's not going to be.
Oh, well,
Which
I
would
can't
mean
just turn around and say
symbol
it's
on
3
the
hours
door.
and 27 minutes ago.
Yeah, you can, but I mean,
on.
which would mean the symbol on the door.
your best guess is 3 hours and 27 minutes ago.
When I say like between 3 and 4 hours.
You could, yes.
So, wait a second. What did Mr. Black say about that symbol painted on the Church of Contemplation, or of the New England Center of Antiquities door? It was like a security symbol?
It was
Yes,
something
basically,
like that.
like a protection.
But we don't have clearance for
Was
the
there
actual-
not a symbol like that on this door when we went to go save Althea?
Yeah, there was
Shape
nothing
of
on the
some-
cellar doors.
No.
Nothing on the cellar doors.
But it is recently painted.
Althea, would you grab the other handle and I'll grab this one, and these two
That's a
well-armed
great
individuals
idea.
with us will be prepared in case anyone is...
Yes, just hang on. Let's follow Agatha's idea first. Can we wipe off some of the paint and see why they painted it?
Yeah, because it's really weird that they would be painted.
Yeah, that's odd.
Okay, so what are you going to wipe the paint off with?
Do I
Because
have,
it's not as wet as the front. It's still wet, though.
yeah. I probably would have something like a handkerchief or something.
Sure.
Of the
I'll,
time period,
Yeah.
and try to scrub it. With
Yeah, so
what
you're
I've
just
got.
moving paint around?
Oh, it's not absorbing it.
You know what I mean?
It wouldn't handkerchiefs... Paint is usually oil-based.
Yeah, it's like as you're rubbing it, if you ever had something that's been painted and you just rub it, it just smears paint around. It does look like that. There seems to be maybe something, like you see a little bit of white paint underneath, but you're just smearing it around. And it doesn't take long for the handkerchief to just be covered in paint.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Anybody
All
have
right.
water on them or anything
Yeah.
like that?
No.
Is there a water source nearby? Like sometimes a tap or
I have a
a
flask.
rain collection or anything
I
like that?
sincerely hope there's water in your flask.
There's liquid in my flask.
Alcohol will take paint off.
Did you want to?
Yeah, I'll use some to help clear away the paint.
Make sure you take a sip first.
I do. I do.
Okay. As you pour the alcohol on, and as Amos pours some alcohol on,
Yeah.
and Agatha, you continue wiping some of it away. It seems to be a symbol you haven't seen before. It seems to be a circle, and there's 3 squiggly sort of lines.
Now, really quickly, before we get too descriptive, let's not completely uncover the symbol in case is some kind of security thing like the other.
What do you expect?
Yeah, but if there's a paint on
don't
top of it,
know.
we're not wiping away the symbol. We're just wiping away
No.
the top layer of it.
Yeah, I know we're not wiping away the symbol. Let's not completely uncover the symbol.
Okay.
Just 90% of it.
Okay.
I sketch the symbol when they uncover it in my notebook.
So
Sure.
it's a circle.
It seems to be a perfect circle
Okay.
with 3 squiggly lines just in it. Here, just give me a second here. Offset from each other. And different geometric shapes around the outside. So a circle, and there seems to be 3 squiggly lines offset, and there's just
Okay.
geometric shapes around it.
Interesting.
Not like the, Alpha Getty Wizards robes of... I just mean just different symbols and runes around it.
Well,
to
this
show
would
what it is.
definitely be a photo op for us.
I'll
too.
take a snap photo of this thing too.
Sure.
And then we'll proceed with Marion's plan of you guys
Yes.
opening the door, and we'll have our weapons trained, hey?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'll just have gun in one hand and I'll take the handle
Sure.
with the other.
And I'll grab onto the other handle.
Okay.
Sure.
Gun trained.
Also gun trained.
Sure.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Open.
Yeah, so you open it up and you can see like a little stairway going down. It's dark.
Do you,
There's no like gunfire or chanting or anything that
Yeah.
you hear.
I cautiously and slowly head down first.
Do you have the
And-
flashlight?
Does it seem pitch dark down there?
Yes.
Can we say that we brought a flashlight from the car with us?
Sure.
Okay. I will take a flashlight in one hand and the gun in the other and start stepping. Get to stepping.
I will follow Amos, but I believe my rifle requires 2
You need 2
hands.
hands, yeah.
Is there some way to prop at least one of these doors open so that if someone tried to close it behind us, we would hear sound? Like, are there any stones nearby and stuff that we could, like,
Yeah.
weight
Sure.
against it?
Sure.
Okay, I want to do that.
Sure.
I don't want someone to be able to quietly close it behind us.
Well, you also notice as you're looking around for a stone that in the side of the church on either side of the door by a couple of feet are a little hook with a little rope on it that you can latch onto the doors to keep
Perfect.
them open so the wind doesn't rattle them around.
yeah.
And then you can do that and put a rock on it.
Okay,
I'm just saying
I'll
that,
do
that
both.
there is a method to
I'll
hold
do
the doors
both. I
open.
want there to be able to be sound if these doors are going to be
Sure.
closed by someone other than us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Slowly go on down, cautiously.
Yep.
You cautiously maneuver down a short little few steps, really. And it opens up into the room, and there's bookcases and stuff around, and there's like an altar in the middle.
Is their body still there from when we killed that guy?
No.
Is there any evidence of blood?
No.
Nothing's there.
Nothing's there.
Oh.
You notice that, and there's the little pedestal that the book was placed on before. There's no book on
Yeah, I figured as much.
it, right? But as you're going over to look, I'll allow somebody to roll a forensics.
I have forensics, or Althea has forensics.
I will call for forensics, and if forensics doesn't work, I will be calling for a different type of roll, but as a forensic specialist, I'll let her roll
While
first.
she's doing that, I'm going to go look at the pedestal. Is the chain still there? Or does it look like it's been cut?
It's been removed, like the pin, like there's no chain
okay.
at all, as if the pin had been removed from the pedestal itself.
I got 83 out of 30 for forensics.
Which would have been a bit of a different information, but anyone, as soon as they enter, can either roll a chemistry or a medicine check.
I have a 1% in both of those.
No. I failed both.
So.
Yeah, no.
52 out of 70 on medicine for Althea.
So put a tick next to medicine.
Nice.
Being now, it's a bit of a different information than the forensics side of it. You can tell from the smell when there's been a cleaning agent used down here to clean up the blood. You're not entirely sure what it was, but clearly this room has been worked on, cleaned, if you will, by maybe a cleaner, as in
A professional.
a professional cleaner.
Can I take a look at some of the books that are still on the shelf and know what kind of books they are, if they're on any particular topic?
You do notice that for some reason, almost every book you look at is damaged or like damp and That's like you can't really read them. You open them up and you'll rip the pages and stuff like that. It doesn't feel necessarily damp down here.
They doused all the books.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's...
And you notice off to the side, of course, there's a stairway heading up.
That's what I was going to ask.
There's a stairway heading up. Yeah.
Well, let's just inspect the building as a whole then.
Yep, I want to start going up the stairs.
Could I take one of the manageable size of books that seems to be the least damp or damaged and take it with me? Put it in my bag?
The largest one?
No, the least, like a manageable sized book.
Okay, so you go, I need you to roll me a luck roll
Okay.
as you pull a book out.
Yeah, while she's doing that, we're just going to keep inspecting this area down here until we're ready to move on as a group.
7% out of 63.
Damn!
Okay. As you pull a book out, and it seems to be in good condition. You just flip it open, just to make, you know what I mean, to make sure it's in good condition. And you notice a little stamp in the book, and it says on the stamp that it's from the library of Aloysius Goodyear.
Oh,
Wait, what?
You notice this.
Oh, yeah.
You know those little stamps?
Yeah.
Well, not from the library, but the property of Aloysius
Some
Goodyear.
of those stamps do say library of. I used to have some of them.
Yeah.
Mine were in sticker form, though.
Yeah.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Yeah, you can't really read the title of the book, and the book itself is warped.
What's curious, Althea?
And I'll just close the cover and say, I'm going to take one of these books and see if there's anything that we could do in my lab, or perhaps the police department has some kind of thing to help us extract anything at all from one of these. This one seems a little less damaged than the others.
Oh, that's lucky.
At this point, Regal jumps off of Amos's shoulder, and there's like the altar that
I was on.
That Althea was on. It just lands on that, and it's just sort of walking around it, strutting like Mick Jagger.
What's up, little buddy?
Raven noises.
I will inspect the altar.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
Yeah, just a slab to put people on. You notice that there is like handholds and stuff, like straps and stuff to hold somebody down. You don't like notice any secret compartments or anything like that. You do see on top that there is grooves if something with sharp and with force has smacked into it in a few different areas.
Fair.
Like, actually, if you would roll an occult roll, try to bring some other skills into it,
good.
people. Bring it. Raven noises.
What?
Do you want us to all
32
do
out
that,
of 5.
Yeah.
can we all try that?
Sure, I'll allow it because you
since you
said you asked
actually
nicely.
No, 64.
No. That's
Okay.
I'll take a picture of Regal and the altar,
Sure.
and that way I can take a look at it later.
Okay. And as you take the picture, almost as soon as you take the picture, and it's done, you hear the sound of walking on the floorboards above you, and just walking lines. And there's a bit of dust as you look up, and it's just the floorboards there, and there's a bit of dust that comes down, sort of
Yeah.
down on you.
Can we tell what direction it's going?
It seems to be walking toward the entrance of the church. Just seems to be slow, methodical steps.
Does it seem to be close or getting ever further away from the staircase that leads upstairs?
Away from it.
Yeah, it's heading towards the front of the church where the staircase is going to the back of the church.
Yeah.
So do we all want to? So I
Okay,
whisper.
so I'm not finished.
Oh.
Sorry. So you hear the steps and like a muttering. Like you can't really pick it out, but like a. That's what you hear.
I kind of very, very quietly whisper to the group, cellar door, round to the front.
Why? We don't want him to find us.
If they have the book.
Oh, I know we said not to split up, but what if two of us went to the front and 2 of us went up the stairs and surrounded. It sounds only like one person. I'm against that idea.
Let's just all go up the cellar door and out to the front. Ready? Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. And so we're all going to slowly jaunt back up the cellar door we came and try and wrap around the front and cut them off.
So as soon as you start maneuvering out of the basement, you hear a cackle of this weird laugh as the person upstairs starts running as well.
Have we heard that laugh before?
No.
Okay.
So as soon as we start moving, they laugh and run for the front door?
Yeah.
All right, then
All right,
let's
all
start
stealth
running.
is out the
yeah,
window.
stealth out the window. We're going to just boogie. Did they fucking hear us or something? All right.
Yeah,
Everything
booking
about
it.
this is
Yeah,
weird.
so we're going to boogie up the cellar door stairs and towards the front.
So we're going to go to Marion
Okay.
first because you're the fastest.
You are the fastest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to aim to be first, though. I'm going to let everyone else go in front of me.
Okay,
I'm gonna aim
so
to be
instead
last.
of moving at a speed of 80, we're going to be moving at Althea's speed. Are you going to be first? Or do you want to go as slow as Agatha?
Where is your speed?
I already know.
It's dexterity.
Yeah, but I'm just
Or
going by
movement.
I'm just going by dex right now instead of movement
My
because
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
because
my
that's
turn.
how the movements would go in.
I am fastest, but I don't want this person to know that we're here, so I'm actually going to be last.
Sure. My common sense and curiosity, usually curiosity wins.
So you're going to. Okay,
I'll run
fair
out,
enough. So we have Marion and Althea. Marion just slightly behind Althea, and then we have Agatha running with a rifle and Amos pulling up the rear.
No, I'm going to try to be last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're last.
Yeah.
Okay. As you run out, so what happens is I'm going to start off with Althea.
Yeah.
As you run around the side, as you sort of get to the cellar door, you hear the front door of the church smack open.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you run around the church, you see somebody halfway down the lane running so fast. So fast. You see a top hat, although it looks damaged. Like it's not kept up. It's like a sketchy top hat and like a long coat and running with arms sort of flailing. Just running like
Clearly not carrying a book.
like you see a kid running
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I mean? Just like
When I come around the corner, I'll just like level up my handgun.
yeah, take
And-
a shot. I'm assuming.
No, I'm gonna yell, "Stop right there!" Don't like.
Nah, it doesn't stop.
Shoot it in the air.
Yeah, I'll shoot it in the air. Yeah, I'll shoot it in the air.
So you scream something out and shoot it, and then we're gonna have Agatha show up right after.
Well, just like
You're just gonna shoot it in the air.
yeah, like
Okay.
so that they don't see, they know that someone here has a gun.
Yep. You shoot it in the air. There is a difference in.
Okay.
But this is just as Agatha comes around the corner with her Lee Enfield.
Yep.
You see a figure running toward the gateway.
And I see the top hat and
Yeah, you see
the car.
It looks like the top of the top hat is like sort of
like
up
a
and
car.
down like a stovepipe.
He's running
Can
towards
I
the car.
try and shoot to maim him to stop? Like
You
maim,
mean
like hit the leg or something.
From the
like that.
distance you are away,
Yeah.
you can try. And it's a running figure. You
Right.
you don't have time to aim other than taking a pot shot. I will allow it, but you will only hit on an extreme success, and it'll be a
Soon as-
regular hit.
As soon as I hear the first shot, I'm going to yell out to... Don't shoot! What are you doing? Stop!
No, that's a 94.
So even if it was a regular shot, so you take a quick second trying to line up the shot in the leg
Yeah.
to try to slow the person down,
Yeah.
and you miss. And it just hits the side of the wall, a bit of stone shoots out, and then Amos, you hear of course the rifle shot. You heard Althea before that shoot into the air. You also have your gun just as the person is sort of at the gate, and if you wish to, you can also take a shot.
Do I see anyone else in the front doorway?
No.
There's no one else? Just the one guy?
There's no one in the doorway of the church. there might be people in the church.
We
you
only
don't know.
heard one set of footsteps.
But you only heard one set of footsteps.
I'll take a pot shot at him.
There you go. And it's just going to be a shot. You're not going to try to just...
I doubt I'm going to kill him with one single shot. I'm going to try and hit him and stop him. I'm under the assumption he's going to try and steal the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my assumption.
Am I
so I'm just
close
going to
enough
stop
to
him.
stop any of them from shooting?
You are right behind Amos, because you specified you were at the end.
I am at the end.
And you see Amos come around the side with raise up. You've already heard a couple of shots.
And I've been yelling for them to stop.
Yeah, and he raised up. So would you want to try to stop Amos from shooting?
Like push his hand down.
Push his hand down. Okay, fair enough.
Fun.
That would mean I will give you a penalty die to your shot, because you're not tackling him to the ground.
Yeah.
But it would make it a harder shot, which of course is roll an extra percentile die and take the worst result for you.
Cool.
What's the two percentages?
It's a 27 or a 47.
So it'll be a
It's a
47.
47. Out of 69.
Okay, fair enough. Roll for damage with your weapon.
Three.
3. So you shoot him in the arm. You're not sure if it goes all the way through, but you do shoot him in the arm. He's like, crazy person's noises. It almost sounds like ravens.
What are you doing?
As he
Stop!
runs through the gate and to the side, so you can't see him.
What the
We're
hell
not
are
here to
you
kill
doing?
people. What are you doing?
I would rather him not steal the car and run off with having already tried to kill us.
Why would you assume he was going to steal the car? He didn't try to kill us. This is a person at a church.
While they're arguing, can I just run to get the distance between
Same.
us and see where
So
the car
Althea
is?
and Agatha, as you guys are talking, start running toward the archway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of
Leave that down.
ignore
I hit his
her
head and
and
I start, or hit on his head, his hand with the gun and start running with them.
And then I'm gonna, and before following suit, because I am the slowest, I'm actually going to look in the front of the church real quick, make sure no one else is behind us.
Yeah, so Amos, as you pretty much, I'm not going to require a roll
Okay.
for this, as you sort of look in through the doorway, and you can see the rows of pews and the main aisle going up and the little foyer and stuff. And at the end, you can notice that there's 2 doors on the other side of where the podium and everything is and the choir seats. The door on the left seems to be open.
That's the one that goes up to the bell tower?
Yeah.
Huh. Alright, I'll come back to this later, because, not splitting the party and shit. I'm going to trail behind these 3 and keep an eye on the church as we head towards the car real quick.
So Agatha and Althea, you reach the main gateway first, and you look out, and the Packard Twin 6 is there. You don't see any sign of anybody.
Do we see any blood on the ground from the wound?
Spot hidden.
Have I reached there yet too?
They're there first because
Yeah,
you guys were
yeah.
talking for a minute.
That is a 36 out of 66.
And a 9% out of 43.
Damn!
Oh, it's not an extreme though, eh?
No.
Sucks.
Sucks.
So you each can put a tick next to spot hidden. You do notice drops of blood, sort of leading out behind the Packard Twin 6, and then it just abruptly stops. And then you notice there's like a sewer grating.
I'm not going down into 1923 Boston sewer. I refuse. I'm
That's
just
what you
putting
see.
that out
and
there.
then Marion, you show up, and you can see that Althea is sort of looking at like a. It's. We've all seen It, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who's seen It.
Yep.
So it's not really as much. There is a little bit of a grating, but there's just a rise up and there's just a hole.
Yeah.
So
That's
for
where it's
rainwater
shut
to
down.
run into.
Yeah.
And that's where it sort of
Just
looks
going
large
through.
enough to squeeze in.
Can we? Okay.
Unless you're me.
Where is he? What happened? Is he all right?
I don't know. Basically, I think he went down there.
What? Why on earth? And I go over to to the grating and see if I can. Is it possible to lift it off?
Strength check.
Sure. I'm not very strong. No, that's an 89
Yeah, you
out
sort
of
of
40.
strain, and the grading is pretty solid.
I don't think you want to go down there, Marion.
But he was just shot by Amos. He needs a doctor. We need to help him.
I'm a doctor. I don't feel any
Exactly.
need to treat him.
Well, then we'll take him to another doctor.
Amos, you show up as well, of
All
course.
right, where's the little shit?
He's gone.
What is wrong with you?
Then he went down the
Wrong with
grading.
me? Oh, hell, I ain't going down there.
Well, I don't think any of us want to go down there.
Well, perfect. We're in agreement then. Did you want to go down there?
I ignore him and I kind of crouch down the railing. Are you all right? Hello?
You hear a little echo. Like your voice echoes down. And you hear it echo back. It's like, doing fine. And it's unfair, like it echoes back, but it's like, doing fine. That's what you hear. Of course, Regal is not on your shoulder. He had stayed with the altar. Just to clarify that the Regal
Okay,
isn't
okay.
there. Yeah.
All right, well, if we're not going down the chapel or down the sewer, I think we can instead look at where he came from and see if he left something behind.
Did you see something behind at the chapel?
Yeah, he left the door open, so I think we can go and take a look at where he came from. Maybe
Well-
he left something.
All right, well, I'll join you for sure.
Do you need help down there?
You don't hear a reply at the moment, yeah.
He said he was fine. Let's go.
For Agatha, hearing the voice echo through the sewers sounds familiar to you.
Oh, no.
Like the
course it
tone,
does.
the tone is slightly familiar. You're not really sure. You can't really place it, but it's slightly familiar.
If I used, would it be psychoanalysis or psychology?
No, it's just at the edge of your mind.
Oh, okay. So
Psychoanalysis
like,
for treating other people who are having a mental break and stuff like that. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying it seems familiar.
Well,
And you said the tone or the voice?
Yeah, it just sounded like a familiar voice.
I'm a little pissed off at the situation, so regardless of whether or not they follow me behind me, I'm walking up towards the church, thinking that everyone's left.
Okay, so Amos is heading back to the church.
I'm also following close behind.
Okay, Agatha, Althea, and Marion.
Yeah, I'll follow. Unless Marion wants to stay here and keep yelling into the
Once I hear them getting up, leaving, I'll call one more time.
Mm-hmm.
We can help you. Do you need help? And if I don't hear a response, I'll get up and follow them.
No, you don't hear a response yet. As you make your way back to the chapel, to the open doors, and you walk into the church, the chapel of contemplation.
to contemplate what the heck just happened.
Yeah.
Why would you shoot an unarmed man?
Why is an unarmed man hanging out in a so-called church with a sacrificial altar in the
Yeah,
basement?
let me go over a lot of facts here. The last time we came to this chapel, one of us got beat over the head and practically killed. Another one of us got shot at. Technically, 3 of the rest of us got shot at. Then we freed her from what seems to be a sacrificial altar of some sorts, whilst on a mission to retrieve a satanic book with God knows what else going on. And then the second that we came to this place, they went and raided your place of employment and practically killed your boss. The other one, we don't know where he is.
We do not know that it was the same people. We are at this chapel. Would you want someone to automatically assume you are a Satanist and shoot you? He could be any other investigator. This, from the outside,
I
and
don't
even
think
from the
that was
inside,
an
because we've not stepped inside,
investigator.
appears to be a church.
Yes, I'll just assume that every single person we meet in a satanic church is totally innocent from now on.
The gentleman who ran away wasn't
Yes,
dressed.
fight!
Wasn't dressed well
Raven
enough. He's got
noises.
he looked like he was broken down. He almost looked like he was homeless, but he had to have been crazy. I mean, someone who got shot in the shoulder and yells back, "Doing fine," is not exactly right in the head.
Do we shoot all homeless people?
Does everyone who is innocent run away without even seeing who else is here?
If he did not know we were here to begin with. He could be running for any reason at all.
Well,
he
then-
could have been as innocent as we, although I exclude you, sir, and you. None of you are innocent. All of you shot at him. He could have been running from the Satanists. We don't know this.
Well, then
What is wrong with you?
why don't we go looking for what he was running from then?
Yeah, you said it was up the tower, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. You know what? Let's go. Let's go. I want to see what the heck is up there.
I'm going first this time.
Oh, good. Good luck with that.
Good. Where's your
'Cause
gun?
remember last time?
So
I'm fine.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. Our next episode will air Tuesday, November 19th. In the meantime, Tuesday, November 12th, is the next episode of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. The game system used today was the Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosium. Music, sound effects, and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Sirenscape. You can find all Twisted Gears Studios podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please follow and like Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Zach Barrett, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and your GM, or Keeper, this evening was Derek Snow. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.